What's going on, family? This is Inspired to Be Great, and I'm your host, Ron Miles. First off, I'd like to just send out a special thank you for everybody that's subscribing. Remember, you can continue to follow us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Blueberry, or Podbean. Either one, go on there, subscribe, follow, and give us your rating and reviews. And also, I want to thank everybody that's been coming to the website, www.ronaldmiles.com. That's RONALDMYLES. We're seeing continuous growth on there, continuous educational tools on there. Being able to help people, being able to see people grow is something I just get such a joy out of. But to the topic of today. Today is a special edition. Why? Because today is the NFL draft. And it got me to thinking as I was watching the draft, actually, of, are you draftable? Do you have the qualities that to be a first round pick? Do you have what other people are looking for? I mean, that's basically what the draft is. The draft is saying you are what we're looking for. We need somebody like you. Why? Because if we can find somebody like you, you will solve a piece to our puzzle, or you will solve a problem that we had the year before. So are you draftable, family? Have you got yourself to the point where you're able to solve the issue not only for yourself but for somebody else? Why? Because like I've continuously told you, people will pay for you to solve their problems. The problem is, are you ready? Or have you got yourself prepared? Have you got yourself in position to? Have you took the necessary courses, the necessary lessons? Have you done the necessary studying, research in your niche, in your area to figure out, I am the perfect person to figure things out for you. I can help solve your problem. Have you figured out how to get yourself drafted? How you become the first round pick that everybody's looking for? I mean, that's key. That is absolutely key, is that you become that pick. Why? Because people are looking for somebody to solve their problems. And it's crazy because as I begin to watch the draft and I'm hearing all these names and all these possibilities and all these different people that's coming up, you start to realize that they start knocking people down, saying that you got first round talent, but you're not worth going in the first round because you got red flags. You got some character issues. You had some things going on in your past that we're not too fond of. Have you ever felt like that, family? Have you ever felt like you've been knocked because of something that happened in your past, but you're totally different from that person you are today? Believe me, I know that feeling. I know how you could feel like, you know what? Don't judge me on my past. Judge me on my now. But somehow, some way, we always have that track record with us. But the key to that is changing people's minds. Why? By consistently getting new habits, building new qualities, showing people that I'm no longer what you thought I was. And then the crazy part is sometimes you could make a mistake once but be labeled for forever. And that's why it's key to ensure people that you are draftable, that you are ready, that those red flags that they were concerned about, they have no need to be concerned anymore. Why? Because that's not me, or that was a one-time thing. That's not who I am. That's not who I've become. That's not what I've practiced, what I study from. But see, the cool thing about it is this, family. Listen to me close. The cool thing about it is that you don't have to be who they say you are. And what do I mean by that? You can stop everything right now. You have the power inside you, in your mind, to change exactly what you want your life to be right now. There's no stopping you. All it takes is taking the necessary steps, changing the way you think, changing the way your patterns are, and putting them into a productive state. Changing things into a productive state, family. You have each and every opportunity. Every day you wake up, every day you take that breath of air, it's your day, your chance, your opportunity to change what people think about you, to change how people view you, to change what is going to happen not only in your life, but in your family's life. You have to be that model. You have to be that draftable person. It don't matter about what you've done. It don't matter about what they think about you. It don't matter what they say you should be and you shouldn't be, and where you grew up at, and who was your parents and who wasn't your parents, and you got left and you were homeless and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. Things are going to be said, family, but you have to know within you that that's not me. I dictate who I am. I dictate the path that my life goes on. I dictate the roads that I want to navigate. And that's what I'm saying to you, family. Be the person that's doing the dictation and not the person that's being dictated. It's that simple, family. But how do we do this? I know you're saying, I hear you, Ron. I hear you. But how do we do this? How do I get to that point? I tell you exactly how, family. First things first, you have to transform how your mind thinks. It's called neural associated conditioning, NAC for short. And that's how you operate. And they tell you this. They tell you very, very fast. They tell you all the time, if you change your habits, and how long does it take? It takes on average 18 to 21 days to change a habit. So you need to do something consistently. 18 to 21 days. Where you say, well, that's hard. No, it's not hard if you break it down into simple steps. Don't focus on the long task. See, the problem is you hear 18 to 21, and so you already done talked yourself out of it. Because you say, I can give you a day. But if your life mattered, if it meant something to changing the way your life is going to end up, won't it matter just a little bit more to go 18? But don't think about the 18 to 21 days. Think about one day at a time. Write down the steps that you need to take. Write down the things that need to happen for you to get to that change. That's first. As you write them down, and each day you consistently follow this pattern. When I wake up, I'm going to wake up each day at this time. When I wake up, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give thanks. I'm going to go into gratitude. I'm going to be happy about me having a new day, a new chance, a new opportunity. Second, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to either shower or get a workout in or whatever it is you may need to do. Well, while I'm doing it, I'm going to be listening to something that's feeding my spirit, feeding my mind, making me grow. If it's an audio book talking about how to operate in your business or how to become better, whatever it may be, I'm going to listen to those things to get me on the right path. Why? Because what I see, hear, and think will dictate how my mind and my body operate. What you see, hear, and think will play a major role in how you operate throughout the day, will play a major role in your attitude. Have you ever noticed you heard a song and that song take you back? It take you back to a place where maybe you shouldn't be, or a happy time where you were happy at in life. Why? All through some lyrics, all through a note, all through some sounds will take you back there. Well, that's the same thing when I say it's what you see, hear, and think. Because what you see, hear, and think when you first get your day started will set the pattern, will set the tone for how your day will go. So you need to make sure you're implementing the right things in you. You need to make sure that you're getting the right mindset to challenge the day, to take on the day. But also, family, make sure that you're nourishing yourself. And I know you probably say, no, I hear this all the time. I need to work out. I need to exercise. I need to eat right. No, family, I'm serious. You need to put the correct things in your body to fuel it, to operate at its highest capacity. That's what I'm saying, family. I'm not just telling you something just because I want you to do it. I'm telling you things that I recognize in my own life of how I can get myself to operate at my highest maximum. But see, the crazy part about this, family, and I won't even call it crazy, the thing about putting in something inspirational in the beginning of your day, why? Because it wakes you up. Not only do your dreams and your goals wake you up, but you hear that person's voice that say, hey, you should be up right now. You should be up. Such and such is up. Not that you're in a competition with anybody, not that you're trying to compete and beat anybody out, but at the end of the day, you want to be your best you. That's what Inspired to Be Great is about. It's about becoming your best you, each day becoming better, each day growing to the next level, each day taking on a new height. That's what it's all about, family. That's what it's all about. But I challenge you to write it down. Write down your day. Write down what you want to happen throughout your day. Write down your day right now. Before you make this change, write down your day right now. How did your day go right now? What time you woke up? What was the first thing you did when you woke up? Then how long did it take you to get dressed? What did you eat? Did you go to work today? If you didn't go to work, what did you do? What did you do at home? What did you do throughout the day? Did you have to go do this? I want you to take time right now and just write it down. Why? Because it's going to give you a picture of how your day is. Then if you did work, write down how your work day went through. And then I want you to take a day when you're actually off work and write down the things you do that day. And then I want you to compare them. See the differences, see the similarities, and what would you come up with throughout your day? Did it show that you were a procrastinator? Did it show that you had a bad attitude? Did it show that your mind wasn't equipped to handle the proper things it needed to go to the next level? Did it show that you're not eating the right things? Did it show that you're not drinking enough water? Did it show negative signs that's taking this saying that you're not draftable? Did it do any of that, family? If it did, then you know the things that you need to start correcting, to start tweaking. Now, I'm not saying everything will change overnight. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying, family, what I am saying to you is that as time goes, you say, okay, well, from now on, I want to wake up at this time, no matter what. No matter if I have to go to work, no matter if I don't got to go to work, I want to wake up at this time. When I wake up, I want to do this at this time. Then after that, I want to do this at this time. And start strategically implementing things slowly. It don't have to be right away. It don't have to be hardcore. Right now, I need to change how I'm doing things. I need to change how I'm living. I need to change everything. No. Let's slowly tweak things. Why? Because the end goal is for everything to be tweaked, for you to be your best you. But you can't become your best you if you feel overwhelmed because you're trying to change you in a day. How you are didn't happen in a day. It took trials and tribulations. It took some ups and some downs. It took some hardships and some good times. It took some things to get you where you are, to have the mindset that you have. So now it's going to take some time to retweak those things. But as you increase your daily habits, you become draftable. You become the problem solver. You become the one people look to for inspiration. You become the best you available. Each and every day, not just some days, not just every once in a while, but each and every day you become better. Why? Because you're taking the necessary steps in order to become your best you. Yeah, you may have to pull away from some people. Yeah, you may have to turn down some things you want to do. Yeah, you may have to give up some things. If you find those things to be negative, if you find those things to be bad for you, if you find those things not to be conducive to you becoming your best you, then you need to learn to cut those things or those people out. But every day I will write down, what's my dream? That's what I do. What's my end goal? But don't just write down the big dream. Write down the small goals that's leading to the big dream. Why? Because you should have those on paper. Today I want to accomplish A, B, C, and D. 3 to 4 things that you want to get accomplished. It may just be reading a chapter in the book. It may be, today I want to make sure that I clean X, Y, and Z. Or today I want to make sure that I write out, write my chapter in my book. Or I want to learn how to build a website. Or I want to learn how to, work on a car. Or I want to learn how to do some IT techie stuff. Or I want to, whatever it is, just write it down and put out a time for it. Put out a time. Why? Because you're responsible for how you turn out. You're responsible. I heard it best said this way. You're born looking like your parents, but you died looking like your choices. And that's so true, because you could look at each and every individual that you know and say, wow, you look like the choices you made. But family, I want your choices to be great. I want your choices to be phenomenal. Why? Because you're phenomenal. You have it in you. You have the passion to go forward. You have the mindset. See, the problem is people want change right now. Change, like I said, change just don't happen on how you became. You didn't happen overnight. You wasn't some great auspicious person yesterday, and now today you're just down in the dumps, Debbie. No. It took a while to get Debbie down. And then Debbie got to a point where she became used to being down. So now her attitude is a downward spiral, and her life continues to be a downward spiral. So you have to do things. If you know you talk foul, then you have to make sure that you correct yourself, that you put something in place that every time I speak wrong, every time I say something foul, every time I hurt somebody's feelings, every time I say something that's not correct, I need to catch myself immediately and correct myself. Back in the day, my dad and them used to have a cussing jar. Anytime they cuss, they had to put money in the jar. So us as kids would do stuff deliberately to get them to cuss. Why? Because we're going to get this money at the end of the week. But you have to understand, I laugh at that now because I'm like, wow, we were devious. But you have to understand that You're going to have people that's going to try to get you out your hookup. You're going to have people, and they're not going to be deliberately trying to do it, but you're going to have people that say, man, you need to come out with us. You ain't came out with us. You're going to have people that say, man, you need to go ahead and smoke this. Man, you're going to have people that say, girl, we ain't seen you in a while. We're the newest gossip. I know you got all the news. You're going to have to learn how to change those things. You're going to have to learn to separate yourself from those things. But each day, just write down something different, new. But you know what happens? It's a list that becomes that you're starting to build. So now for the first day, you wrote down 2 things you wanted to change. Now, the second day, you just added a 3rd thing that you want to change, but now you got 1, 2, and 3 that you could follow. 4th day, now you said, oh, I could change these 2 today too. I want to try to change it. So now on the 4th day, you got 5 things, but you keep repeating them until your list becomes the way it makes you better. And it sees you have growth, and it sees you at the top. Listen, family, I'm not telling you anything that I haven't done for myself. It was a time period where I used to be down, where I didn't want to be here, where I felt like I didn't have nothing left to keep going. No, I was never going to take my life, but I just didn't have a purpose or a reason for living. But it took for me to start to retrain my mind, reform my mind, start thinking a different way, start speaking a different way, start seeing things, not only physically with my sight, but spiritually with my sight, to get me to understand how things are actually working. And family, that's all I'm trying to get to you. I'm trying to get it across to you that things can be different. But first you have to ask yourself, am I draftable? Do I have red flags? And if I do have red flags, show me how I could become a first rounder. Show me how I can go from being undrafted or a 7th rounder, or a 6th rounder, or a 5th rounder, 3rd rounder, to 2nd rounder, to a 1st rounder. How can you become a 1st round draft pick, family? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. But that's the question I want you to answer as well. With that being said, family, this has been another edition of Inspired to Be Great. I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you for coming out and listening to me each and every day. I thank you for those who download the podcast. Remember, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Blueberry, or Podbean. With that being said, family, go to the website, www.ronaldmiles.com. That's RONALDMYLES. Also, we have the new Inspired to Be Great website that's coming up, where we have different types of memberships and different courses you can take on becoming your best you. Yes, Inspired to Be Great is going to start having the membership courses where you could become your best you. I look forward to seeing you there. I look forward to hearing your comments. And once again, family, remember, greatness only happens when you make good the enemy of great. I'll see you later.